Questions from you guys?
As I said just on the radio, obviously give a ton of credit to North Carolina A&T. They played two really close games prior to this one. Played their best game of the year tonight. Did a great job. Changed up defenses, offensively. Executed very well. Took advantage of some of our pressure defense with some back cuts and different things like that. It's a really good game plan and good execution. I thought in the second half, defensively, we took a step up on the defensive end, did a good job on the glass as well. And we just had to keep kind of plugging away on the defensive end until some offensive stuff broke for us, and it finally did. The last 5 or 6 minutes, the pace that we played at, you need to be able to play that way all the time. Murphy's explosiveness in the open court and in the half court. Javon moving without the ball, Chaplin moving without the ball, Boggs getting himself, set and ready. Again, we had a lot of good looks throughout the entire game. So, but I thought in the second half we maybe got some maturity in terms of we didn't take the first good look, we created a second or third one, and we just shot the ball better when you do that. Now there's games where that first good look, because you got to go and you got to keep, it's time to go. But we got a lot of good basketball from a lot of different guys today, and you just take that win and you take a day off and you start getting ready for Friday.
Coach, I thought your ball screen defense in the second half was much better. What led to that?
We went to a little more with the big stepping up higher and being more aggressive, which gave our guards a little more time to get over the top and stop some of their penetration. You got to get the other three guys really active when you do that, though. And they took advantage of it a couple times, hit a couple threes on throwbacks when we were a little too deep. But overall, what it did is, they're an aggressive driving team at 4 different spots, so it did kind of keep them on top of us the whole time, as opposed to getting behind us or being able to slice the drive off that. So having a guy like Russell, Jalen obviously did a good job when he was in there, and then when we went to the smaller lineup, we were able to switch with Jake and switch with Sam. I thought Sam's last 4 minutes on the defensive end, was very, very important for us. Very important for us. Did a great job of matching up with Watson, who I think is a heck of a player. So the versatility that we have a little bit showed and really helped us tonight.
17-3 run over the last 6 minutes. What'd you see that sparked it there?
I think, obviously if you go 17-3, you got to get some stops in there. You know what I mean? And we limited them to 1 shot. They missed a couple key free throws. Can't take credit for that. But the one thing that we did offensively, we didn't hold the ball. We were downhill and playing off each other. Boggs hit, a big one. We were down, I think, 13 maybe, or maybe 12 at the time. That was a big one. And that was off of penetration and kick out. You know what I mean? Then Chap hit one because we pushed the ball so hard their defense was all below the free throw line. So now he's squared up, stepping into the shot. And then Murphy gets the and-one, gets the pull-up, but, makes a great play at the end where he doesn't panic. He attacks, plays off a 2, stays calm under pressure in the midst of chaos, and Javon does what we're supposed to do. When one guy drives it, 4 guys are moving, and he moved. And everybody converged onto Murphy and got a good look, and he rose up and shot it. Sometimes guys fade and take quick relief. He shot it like he shoots it every day in practice and every shooting drill that we do. So that was good to see.
Javon mentioned that was his first 3 that he made in the game, and it showed the confidence that Caleb had in him to take that final shot. And they were talking about the confidence they have in each other, and it showed in the final play, giving it to Javon just because he was the open man. Could you talk about Caleb's decision making in the final few minutes, especially in that final run?
Well, one thing is, again, that the 12.6 assists, we need him at 5 to 7 to 8 assists a game. You know what I mean? And his decision making today was, I gotta sneeze, was much better. Especially at the end. Those two guys are starting to get a little better feel for each other. Playing together and playing off each other. And it's just something that's obviously, we talked about it in the last game. We talked about it. It's going to take some time. You know what I mean? But when we play at that pace and that movement, it's going to open up driving opportunities for both guys, and other guys are playing off them. So yeah, it was good to see.
So you mentioned to Caleb that the 6-2, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, that 3-to-1 ratio you talked about.
Yeah. I hit him on the 3-to-1 ratio every day. That's a guarantee. But that's exactly where we need him to be. You know what I mean? That's where we need him to be. And again, I doesn't always show up, but I thought in some times when we were struggling, I thought Trey Moss gave us really good minutes again today. You know what I mean? I thought again, DJ Patrick, he missed shots, but he did some other good things. Probably goes unnoticed, but Boggs gets us 10 rebounds tonight. And those things are all critical for us. Again, Javon gets eight total rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, great rebounding guard for us. So a lot of different things that kept you in the game when things weren't going well, and guys stayed positive. Guys were, 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago, talking about, we knew we had to get stops and rebounds to give us an opportunity to come back and give our guys credit, because that's exactly what they did.
I thought your offensive rebounding was really good. Y'all just couldn't seem to get a lid off the basket in those second chance situations.
And that's something we got to get better at. We had 15 offensive rebounds and 6 second chance points. You know what I mean? We got to finish better around the basket when we get it. And if we kick it out, which we do sometimes, because you get a rebound. I always say, just because you make a hustle play and get an offensive rebound doesn't give you right to just chuck up the shot. You know what I mean? Our guys are getting better at kicking it out, and our guards are getting better at coming back. We got to treat that possession like gold now, because it's an extra one, and we got to get a good shot off that. And if we do shoot it on an offensive rebound, we got to shoot it with a little more strength and power, and know you're going to get hit and finish some of those. Because what we're doing right now is we're wasting our effort. We're not getting anything back. We're investing and going to the glass, and we're not getting anything back from that. And that's something, again, you talk about offensively. If you just score on half of your offensive rebounds, now you got 9 more points, and then you're not talking about the offense struggling as much. You know what I mean? And it's just, there's no difference except just finishing some plays around the basket. So we definitely have to get better in that area.
Coach, I thought Jameer Chaplin struggled defensively for most of the game, but in crunch time, he sat down in his stance, kept his chest in front of his man, and forced North Carolina A&T to call a timeout before there was a turnover. The bench erupted. How big a moment was that?
Well, I think the one thing that we need from Chap is he's kind of that on the perimeter, kind of that junkyard dog that we need. We're going to play against high-level perimeter players, and with him and Javon, those two guys, but Chap usually always guards the best 2 or 3 man, whoever it is. You know what I mean? And his intensity on defense and attention to detail on defense is going to be critical for us. And what's funny is those last 5 or 6 minutes, you saw that defensive intensity, right? Did he also shoot the ball better during that time? And again, he's hasn't logged as many minutes.
Right.
So that maturity piece, understanding that, and really understanding that his energy, his effort is always going to make things better for him on the offensive end, is something that's going to be critical for us moving forward.
Coach, you guys took 35 shots in the first half. took 11 less in the second half and yet made 3 more. Is that a result of you, of the players going for the second drives and not taking that first open shot like you mentioned?
Yeah, exactly. That is. And you know, what we shoot in the second half, 45%. You know, so there was a little less offensive rebounds in the second half, so that cuts down some of the shots. But you know, we took 13 threes in the first half, only 9 in the second half. Got the ball to the basket better on, like you said, second and third drive. So, you know, that you scored 16 more points in the second half because of it. You know what I mean? So got to the free throw line because of the fouls as well. You know, so all those things add up to once we zero in that 3 and shoot a little better from there, then now you're on track on the offensive end and get a couple more putbacks, and now you're making some strides.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Go
What
ahead.
takeaways from tonight are you going to apply in preparation for Friday?
One, we got to do a better job overall, consistently at guarding the basketball. You know, it's something. And this game is becoming a lot just one-on-one, being able to guard the ball and keep the ball in front. Now, to do that, you got to get great help in the gaps, and we got to do a really good job of that. And we got to take care of the basketball. 13 turnovers is one more than what our goal is. It's 12 or less a game. And when you play Auburn, you got to do a great job of taking care of the ball. And then the final piece is, it's a 40-minute game. There's ebbs and flows to it. You got to stay positive. You got to keep plugging away. And you got to stay disciplined to what we're supposed to do. And anytime we kind of get out of ourselves, either not organized on offense or undisciplined on defense, we put ourselves in difficult situations. And understanding that with the new pieces that we're implementing, it's one of the biggest challenges that we have. But when we do that, you know, like I said, we're a good team getting better.
Coach, when was the last time you heard this arena get that loud as they were in the last few minutes there?
Well, obviously last year there was nobody around, but I mean it was close to senior night when LaQuincy hit that bomb to win the game, and we were down 7 with 29 seconds to go, I think it was. So we've seen some pretty good ones in here, but yeah, that the crowd was great, and they didn't give up either. When we made a cut when Jake hit that 3 to cut it, there was I don't know if it was a loud sigh of relief or if it was, you know, because we finally made one, but no, they were great. They were great.
Anything else, Coach?